Hey, it's me. Well, this live is. Hey, it's me. Well, this live is going to be titled. It's me. Well, this live is going to be titled Memories or Jordan's Confessions. And we're going to talk about how Jordan got started in the performing world. And I think that would be a good topic. And yeah, I've had a lot on my mind today thinking about back then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna wait for people to start coming in. And hey Mid, hey User hey Joanne. If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry. Dixie, Mama Dixie's on, love you. Y'all better be careful, Mama Dixie ain't playing with y'all tonight. I love Mama Dixie. Hey Bethany, hey everybody. Waiting on people to come on in. I'm gonna entitle this Jordan's Confessions. I love you too, Mama Dix. Hey Carly, this is what tonight's video is gonna be talking about my very first show. And thank you, Rosemary. Fluffy heart, I love you. But yeah, we're gonna talk about my very first show on stage, y'all. Hey Sheila, love you. Y'all, I remember that, and I got to thinking about that earlier today. I've been thinking about the old times and, 2000s and when, in 98 I started doing shows. I'll be honest with you, I'm an old girl. I love you too, Sheila. Hey, Jan69, love you. And, if I'm missing anybody, I'm so sorry. It's just going so fast, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you, Rosemary. Love you. Um, Thank you for the roses, Mimi. I love you. So, thank you, old girl. I love you. But I'm going to talk about my very first drag show ever. Thank you, Lady Crown. I think that's Lady because it's cutting off, but I love you. Heart, love you. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Um, I want to talk about my first drag show. And there's a reason for all of this, and I'm going to tell you why gay bars were so important for me growing up. Being a child that was different. And I'll never forget my first gay bar I had ever been in, and I loved it. Like y'all, seriously, this was the only gay bar near me. Okay, ever, like forever, and it was called Crossroads. And I don't know if any of y'all know, have ever heard of it. It was also called the Goat Bar because yes, there was goat and chickens out there, and I swear it's story time. But I remember going the first time with a friend of mine, and I remember seeing my first drag show with Lady Satin, who was the MC, and it was only a few people. It was only like two people. Yes, the crossroads. You know, Lee, you know. But that was back in the day. But yeah, that was when I started doing drag. That's when female illusionists look like women. Does that make sense? Drag queens back in those days, there was no such thing as drag queens. You had female illusionists or female impersonators. And I remember going to this bar for the first time. Never had been to a gay bar. And I'll tell you, I was 17 years old, but I was tall, so they thought I was like 21. So I got in without being carded. Don't tell nobody. Which they can't do nothing. The bar closed now anyway. But I got snuck in that bar. Thank you, Rosemary. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. But I'll never forget going into that bar for the first time and realizing I wasn't the only one that wore makeup. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like literally I got out the car. I was like this the whole time because I was like, and my friend Daniel was like, come on, nobody's going to care. Come on. So I got out the car. We paid our little, I think it was like $5 to get in because it was real cheap back in there. It was real cheap. We paid $5. And we got in and saw my first show and walked in, and I swear to God, I thought I had done died and went to heaven. Because there was gay people everywhere, trans people everywhere, and I was in heaven like I fit in. Hey, lab lover, I found my people, you right. And I'll never forget that same exact night, I looked at Daniel when I was watching that show, and I was like, I want to be there. I want to be on that stage. Realistically, because I knew I could do better than they did. Truthfully. But I didn't realize just how hard it was. It is hard. I ain't gonna lie. It's hard. It's hard to be a performer. I ain't gonna lie. It took me about 2-3 years to get it down to pat. And the next following weekend, somehow I got thrown in the show. So my third weekend of going there, my third weekend was my first show ever. And let me tell y'all a secret. Whew, that was the scariest feeling in the world. And I want to tell you, my first show was so terrible. Oh, it was terrible. I'll never forget. It was so terrible. Like, y'all remember in the 80s and 90s, you had what I call the Dolly Parton meets George Washington wigs. Y'all know it's curly and big and long, kind of like a curly, huge mullet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I remember getting one because I found it for like $6. I think I got it at a Halloween shop or something, or going out or something. I got it somewhere for like $5-6. It was real cheap. And I remember Candace, Lord rest her soul, she's passed away now. But she and my friend Greg did all the work on me that day. Candace was trans, but couldn't live her life as Candace. Because back in that day, it was, you just couldn't. And anyway, so she did the makeup and pulled my hair up. And when she pulled it up, y'all remember the 80s style where it pulled up and it was all fluffy here, but it was long and curly in the back. And the hair looked like it was like 3 foot tall. She sprayed it with some Aquanet. Y'all know Aquanet. And then she loaned me a black wig. Well, the black looked better on me because it was straight. But then Candace got in the hair and started teasing it on my head, and then it became like as wide as my shoulders. Y'all know, like this wide. Okay, and the bad thing about it, y'all fuss these days. I ain't gonna lie, because I tell you, back in those days, these queens these days got it easy. They got it made. Okay, cause back in those days, we didn't wear couch cushions to make our hips bigger. We used duct tape around the waist and between our legs to give us that illusion. Now me, I was little anyway, so I duct taped certain areas, and I had to learn that later on. But, and y'all remember, I'll never forget my first makeup eyeshadow palette I ever bought. And y'all gonna believe me when I tell you, the only colors that was in that eyeshadow was white, 30 shades of blue, and a black. Oh yes, Ella. Ooh, Miss White Rain wasn't nothing to play with when you couldn't afford Aquanet. And so I remember my first makeup palette that I bought specifically for the show. And I swear I thought I was gorgeous, and knowing I looked like Mimi from the Drew Barrymore show. I ain't even lying, I did. And I thought I was cute. And my first show, y'all want to know how much? See, we didn't work like these days. These girls get paid for everything they do. Like if they step on the stage, they get a payment. If they perform, they get a payment. Back in my day, you didn't get like that. No. You worked for tips. Yes, honey, that blue was the bomb back in the day, and you couldn't get that stuff off. It would dye your skin and everything. You didn't matter what you put on your eyes, it would dye your skin blue. And I'll tell you, my first show ever, I made $12. And I thought I did terrible. Like, I didn't want to do it again. Until the owner outside, I was sitting out there it was like a little bar that was curved like a bench, and it was just a bar we sat on like a perch. Hey, just justified. And yeah, we sit out there. And he come to me, he said, how much you do? I mean, how well did you do? And I said, well, I made $12. He said, you do realize that the rest of them only made 7, right? Hey, TT. I was like, well, then I didn't feel so bad. Because he's like, this is a slow night. Which I didn't pay the attention that they only had like 23 people that night. Because it was something going on out of town and everybody was going out there. Yes, Ryan, the old Crossroads. I'm an old Crossroads baby. And so I did it again. The second time, the next following weekend. But I didn't do the same. We had prepared because, like, my friend was a seamster, because male, it's a seamster. And he was like, I'll make you some outfits. Don't worry about it. So we went to digging. Like, y'all ain't gonna believe that we bought sheets and stuff to make my first clothes out of. Like, we would buy the king size sheets at the Dirt Cheap. Y'all remember when Dirt Cheap became real famous? Yeah. And we bought all the king size sheets they had to make dresses for me that whole week. Because I had to have 2. And I'll never forget it. That second show, same hair, same blue eyeshadow, same everything. I made $60. And I ain't gonna lie to you. For 20 minutes of work, that wasn't bad. So, but then, later on in years, I met a Reba McEntire impersonator was coming through. Join my team. I love you. I love you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A Reba McEntire impersonator was coming through. We just wanted to stop in and do a song or two for us. Didn't charge us anything. We was like, sure. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And she stopped in. And I was back there getting ready because at that time I couldn't really get ready at my own home, if you get what I'm saying. Thank you, Lux. We love you. And so I was at the bar. I had got there early. I think I got there like at 5:30 that afternoon because it takes like 4 hours, 5 hours for me to get thank you, Summer, to there, to where I needed to be. Like, the show didn't start at 12. I got there at 5:30, and from 5:30 all the way to like 10:30, I was getting ready. Anyway, she looked at me, that Reba McEntire, and I thought she was the most gorgeous thing I ever seen in my life. And I was like, oh God, she looks just like her. And back in y'all remember when Reba had the big long hair? Y'all remember when she had that big long hair? Thank you, Sarah. I love you. And that's what she did. And I just thought she was the prettiest thing. And I kept telling her, you are so beautiful. She said, honey, can I give you a secret? I said, what? She said, shave your eyebrows. It'll make it a lot easier on you to draw your eyebrows. Well, I didn't know nothing about that, right? Because I was new to the game. And I took her advice. I came home. The next following week, I shaved my eyebrows completely off. And never did get them back on till like a couple of years ago. Okay? And I'll never forget. And then I started getting better at my craft. And I kept wondering why the bar owner was so mean to me. Like, he would dog me now. Like, for those 12 years I spent at this bar, that's where I was. That was my home. I remember you too, Ryan. And he gave me fits, and I could never understand because he wasn't like that to everybody else but just me. But then I realized what he was doing. And he told me later on in years after the bar had closed, he said, because he told me on the phone, he's like, out of all the girls that I had performing at my bar, he said, you had star quality. He said, I knew you was going to go somewhere. I was like, well, I appreciate it, but you could have done this in a better way. He said, how would you have learned if I wouldn't have been tough on you? Hey, Linda, I love you. Hold on. Hello, Jordan. I love you. Make my day. I see you, Linda. I love you. Thank you, Summer. And that was years later though. And I will tell you, I was at that bar. This is no lie. I had a full-time job during the daytime. I would come home, take a nap for an hour, get ready to go back to this bar Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday, I was bartending till 1 in the morning. On Saturday, it was my turn. You know what I'm saying? And hey, Mimi, I was never bad. I was never bad. I was good. Good at being bad. But anyway, but yeah, I won't never forget that. And oh my God. You know, and I've been here right here, baby. I've been right here. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. How, I'll be honest with you. If it had not been for me finding this bar, I'm just, oh, whatever. But anyway, Margie, I love you. And if it had not been for me finding this bar and finding the family that I found at this bar, I don't know if I'd been here today. Hey, Larissa, because of the fact that I was only tough because I knew on Saturdays, real Saturdays was like my big thing. I saw everybody on Saturday. Saturday, I was going to see my peoples. I was going to see my family. Yes, we're talking about the Crossroads and my experience with them. And I will tell you, I spent 12 long years there, almost 12. I always say 10 because, I don't really count the last 2 years because it was up and down if it was going to stay open. If it was, we didn't really know. And, I look back at it today and I realized that God put that bar in my life for a reason. Because I was going through a hard time myself and I needed a breakaway, a time for me, and I couldn't find it in everyday life. And to this day, I'm going to tell you what's hard for me. To this day, it's hard for me because every time I think about that bar, I think about how I miss home. Does that make sense? Like, it was more than just a bar for me. Like, I tell everybody, I tell everybody that I started performing at 18 years old, and I did. And I didn't get off that stage until the last day it closed. And yes, there was a couple that tried to reopen it. I get it, but it didn't last long. And the people made fun of us for going to the goat bar, not gay bar, the goat bar. It was a gay bar, but it was also known as the goat bar. And I look back and I go, you know what? I'd still be performing if that bar was still here. I'd still been on stage to this day if that bar was still here. Charlie was the best. And Butch had a rooster and a chicken that I liked to. They used to pet the rooster all the time before everybody came. But it literally was the best place that I needed at that time. And till this day, just about everybody that used to go there, a lot of my friends, well, about 80% of the people that used to go there have passed on and went on and crossed their rainbow bridge. And I go, I will tell you, being at that bar not only taught me how to love who I was, but it also taught me how to love somebody, truly love somebody. And yes, I remember Red. It went so fast, but I remember. And when I met my friend Kenny Carroll, he was the first person I ever met with HIV. I didn't even know what HIV was. And I'll never forget the night that I was bartending, and he cut himself on a broken bottle or something, and he's like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me. I have HIV," and I didn't know what that was. So what did I do? He was my friend, and I loved him, and so I got, you know, I forgot how we did it back in those days. I think we had AOL back in those days. Y'all know what I'm talking about, and I went to Googling, trying to find everything I could out about this disease, and learned so much. And then he taught me a lot, and then it was just an amazing eye opener. It was an amazing eye opener for me because, like, people think, yes, I was 18 when I started on a stage. I was. And I don't regret any bit of it. I don't regret any bit of it. And I'll tell you, I didn't make my first real money until I did a black light show, and y'all had to see the costume. It was really, really cool costume for back in those days. I had took and bought some of those bald caps, y'all know what I'm talking about, those bald caps, and made the crazy person like you see on the horror movie, and had all these multicolored fluorescent strings hanging from me, and they spray painted me with fluorescent hairspray in the back, and I performed in like front of 6, 7 black lights, and there was no other light, so you could imagine how this night went. And I made $1,280 some dollars in tips alone that night. That was on New Year's Eve. I'll never forget it. Percy Chandler was one that drove me out there and drove me home. And he said on the way home, he was like, how much did you make? And I said, I don't know. So I got to counting. It was like 30, 40 minutes before I got to my house. And I got to counting, and ended up being $1,280 some odd dollars for that 2 songs. Actually, it was 3. Because when I did the Black Light show, the last show was the Black Light show for me. I had to go back out there and do it again. Because everybody in the bar was screaming for me that night. Like, they couldn't believe that somebody that went from being known as trying to be this pretty queen went to being this psychedelic, glow-in-the-dark, you know what I'm saying, just out there. No wig, no pretty makeup. It was all fluorescent and glow-in-the-dark, and y'all know black light stuff. And after that second number, I had 2 friends, and they were together, named Chuck and Joey. And they had been together for years. Lord rest Joey's life. Joey came up to me, and he was like, I never would have thought you would have done this. I'm like, is that good or bad? Like, when somebody tell you that, you're like, okay, where's the compliment? Because I don't want you to downplay me. He was like, but you set a whole new standard for what true beauty is. He said, you took beauty from this level to making it psychedelic and up here. And then he gave me another $100 bill for doing it. You know what I'm saying? The most amazing thing, and I was always known for doing things out of the box. Like, that's where I did. Like, I wasn't scared to do Cher one night, Madonna the next night, Patsy Cline over yonder. It just whatever I wanted to do. And I wish all of you could have met these people that I had the honor of meeting. Beautiful, beautiful, like Cotton and Kenny and Joey, and then Old Man Ray, and then it was so many. So many. And then we had Drunk Jeff. We had names for a lot of the people, like Old Man Ray. The only reason we called him Old Man Ray is because we had a younger Ray, and then we had an older Ray, so we just called him Old Man Ray. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was. I don't know about that. I loved what I did, and I was dedicated. Like, I can honestly tell you in 12 years, it was very few shows that I actually missed. Like, even the night that there was no power at Crossroads, like, we had no electricity. Like, there was something going on, we had no electricity. The only thing we had was flashlights. But we were still there. And Butch came up to me and said, well, the show's got to go on. Who can sing? Well, they all knew that I like to sing. Oh, you're so sweet, Brian. I love you. And Butch knew that I like to sing because I always sung around like bartending and stuff. That's what I did. So he made me get out there on stage to sing. That was the same very night that my date puked all down a $300 dress. That I never did date anymore after that. Just saying. And yeah, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. Yes, Jordan has been puked on from here, down a dress, down a bra, into undies, and down the legs, into new shoes. Yes, that happened. And okay, I'll tell you. I was dating this guy named Stacy. Stacy was known to be into alcohol a lot. Like, he was really bad into alcohol. But I liked Stacy. Like, Stacy always brought me roses and stuff to the bar. Very romantic, but loved to drink. He loved it. Like, he wouldn't eat, but he just wanted to drink, right? He was that type. And I was young and naive and didn't know what an alcoholic was. We all drank. So it wasn't no big deal. We didn't pay that much attention. And so we were out there. It was after the show, and I had paid $300 for this dress. I had saved up because I wanted this dress. And it said it was a hieroglyphic dress. And it had, what was it? It was a year 2000. And it says, welcome to 2000. All over it. And it was one of those, you know what I'm talking about, when you're standing, it would change colors with you. And then I had the shoes that were like a silver whatever. Yeah. Well, we out there dancing after the show and everything. Yeah, that's it. Hello, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say, Margie. And he said, he told me, he said, I really care for you. Talking normally, not an issue. And I'll never forget, my friend Daniel was there. Daniel was sitting at the it was like a table by the dance floor. And Daniel was sitting there watching me, and I was dancing with Stacy. About that time, Stacy, I felt something, it was a slow number. That's what it was. It was a slow number. And I felt something warm just go all the way down here. Then it went all the way down to my shoes. And I stopped and froze in the middle of the dance floor. And Daniel comes over there and grabs me because he saw what happened. I'm taller than Stacy, so I didn't see I wasn't looking down. I didn't see what happened. Thank you, Margie. I didn't really see what happened. So he grabs me and jerks me to the bathroom. Had no running water in the bathroom, as usual. So Daniel runs up to the bar, and I'm still like this in the bathroom going, please tell me I didn't get puked on. Please tell me I didn't get thrown up on. Please tell me I didn't. Over and over and over. Even though I could smell it, but I was like, please tell me. Please. Daniel comes back. He grabs the front of my $300 dress and just rips it. And unhooks my bra and just starts throwing water on me. I mean, cases of water, because by this time, the owner felt sorry for me and just gave Daniel a whole case of water just to wash me out because I didn't know what to do. Thank you, Too Hot. And I was just so much shock that Daniel had to go to the dressing room, and I had a robe that I always wore over clothing because I was butt naked by this time. I was standing there naked, everything hanging. Wasn't nothing there covered. I was nothing but I just had on stiletto shoes. Thank you, Ricky. Love you so much. Standing there in nothing but stiletto shoes. In shock. Because I had never been thrown up on before in my entire life. And he wraps this robe around me and pulls me through the crowd. He says, hold this. I'm still in shock, not talking. Thank you, I love you, I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. And I get to the dressing room. Thank you, Deb. I'm sorry. Thank you, Deb. And I looked at him, I said, please tell me I did not get thrown up on. Because I'm starting to come back to my senses. He said, that meant hold on 1 minute. Daniel goes to the bar, gets an orange juice. I already had vodka in the back, right? I'm standing there in nothing but stilettos and a robe, okay? And all the queens are back there going, girl, are you okay? I don't know how you took it. I'm sitting there going, hush. I don't know what happened. I don't want to hear about it right now. Just shut up. Because, I know what happened, but I was hoping I didn't. I was waiting to wake up. I thought it was a drink. I ain't gonna lie. So and Daniel sits me down. He has a cup of ice, pours the orange juice in there, pours the the vodka in there. I mean, like, y'all had to know me back in the day. Like, my drink was 99% vodka and 1% orange juice. That's the way I was. Daniel said, drink this and then we'll talk. So I'm drinking. And I'm still smelling, to throw up. Daniel looks at me and says, when you get through with that drink, put on some clothes. I'm taking you home because you need to get a bath. You need to get a shower. I said, okay. I'm sitting there in still total shock. Everybody's talking about, are you okay? I'm like, just shut up. I don't want to hear it. I want to be in denial that this night ever happened. Hello, Arkansas. We love you. I can't see your name, but I love you. And, Daniel, I finally finished my drink and I'm feeling good about myself again. By this time I done got so tipsy that I'm not smelling anything. Because, I done messed up my nose with the vodka and all that stuff. Anyway. And, he looks at me. He said, Stacy threw up on you. I said, excuse me? I said, I knew I was threw up on. I said, I just didn't want to know I was thrown up on. He said, now what I want you to do, he said, I want you to go out there and I want you to dump him right now because I told him way earlier not to be doing all that drinking when he hadn't ate all day. He said, I had told him at like 1 o'clock because Daniel and Stacy were kind of like best friends. And now Daniel is telling me to go tell his friend that we done. So now at this time, y'all know Victoria's Secret body sprays. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, you get them for like $20 something. I don't know. I'm over here taking the top off with some paper towels and pouring, soaking her and just taking a bath in them, like literally bathing all the way down. Okay, I handed my shoes to Daniel and say, throw these in the trash. He did. Got redressed and went out there and told Stacy. I sit him down and Stacy just crying and I don't know why you crying. You threw up on me. I'm the one that should be crying. That's what I said. And I went out there and then Stacy's like, I'll do whatever it takes. I'm like, well, if you'll do what it takes, this is what it's going to take. It's going to take for you to move on with your life. I'm going to move on with mine and we ain't together no more. Because now let me go ahead and restate this. At this time, we had like 250 people in this bar. It was a pretty good sized bar. We had people outside. So everybody knew I am embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Embarrassed. So he starts crying I'm like, well, you're supposed to be a man, honey. You're supposed to be a man. You ain't supposed to be doing all this crying. You made the mistake. Your fault. Write it off and move on. Honey, no lie. He was calling me on my phone. Y'all remember back in those days, we didn't have cell phone back in those days. We just had the dial-up phone. Y'all know, with the long cords. Y'all know. Hey, Miranda. And so thank you for the taps. I appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you for the makeup. Love you. And so we get home. No, we was at a hotel room. Me and Daniel was staying at a hotel room. Because I always did that sometimes. And we get to the hotel room. Soon as I walk in the door, I no sooner get the key in the door and the dress that I had put on. You know what I'm saying? And hold on. The dress that I had put on was being unhooked as soon as the key went into the door. You know what I'm saying? I could feel it. It was, you know how you button something down the back? I could feel it unbuttoning. Daniel was already on point, unsnapping everything because he knew I was going straight to the beeline. Straight to the beeline. And y'all, it's funny because somehow Daniel called the front office and asked them if they had cleaning spray of any sort. And they just happened to have, I forgot what it was called. Y'all, it was like something from way back in the day, but it had a little bit of bleach in it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? A little bit of bleach. Hey, love you too, baby. Kathy, I love you. And Molly Hatchet. I don't remember no Molly Hatchet. Anyway, I remember standing in the shower. No lie. Standing in that shower now. Daniel's over there with this bleach spray cleaning stuff. Hey, Ma Dukes, spraying me down. It was like that, you know, the toilet blow bowl cleaner. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The kind that foam up. Yeah, that's what Daniel was doing. And I was just sitting there rubbing and... Yeah. That's the worst night of my life. However, I did make right at $400 that night in tips. But I don't know if I made them during the song or was it after I was thrown up on. Because, you know, people were feeling sorry for me. And they were just handing me money as I was walking out because they felt so bad for me. And they knew I was mad because that dress I saved up and it cost me Y'all remember? Those little short dresses back in them days wasn't cheap. You couldn't get one back in the day for less than $180. Y'all remember them prom dresses that was all skin tight and beautiful and had an automatic bra in it, if you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Oh, we had some good times back in the day. Jesus, that's where I met Margie at. Was at that bar. I don't even remember how she got there. But I met her there. And yeah, Daniel was the bomb, baby. He still is the bomb. I just don't see him or talk to him anymore because he has his own husband and his own thing going on. And thank you, Carlene. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, there was like, y'all, I gotta tell you about the first thigh-high boots I ever bought. Now, I bought these with my income tax check, along with tips, because if y'all know, solid leather, not the cheap leather, but solid leather was expensive. Okay? I wanted a pair of thigh-high boots. The only place I could get them was at this place. I can't think we found it online. I think it was after you could go, you got your cell phones and you could go online and order. Or no. I love you, love you, love you, love you. And it was, I was on my desktop. That's what it was. I love you, Carrie. Anyway, but y'all know real leather was expensive. It's not like it is now. Back in those days, leather was expensive. I saved up with my taxes and my tips from the bar. Saved up almost $600 to buy these one pair of boots. One pair of boots. It was 500 and some odd dollars. Now here's the catch to them. I get these boots. I had heck fussing with this company trying to get my boots because they waited 3 months after I done ordering to ship my boots. And my boots come in. Hey, Robin, my boots come in. Left on my front doorstep. Okay. Didn't have a back tip. Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, you have the heel, then you have the tip. Didn't have a tip, just had a nail. What? No tips in the box? No, nothing. Thank you, Carrie. Love you. Oh, you think that was going to stop me from wearing sporting them 500 some odd dollar boots? Nope. It had a little nail sticking out of them that they used because they didn't put the tip on them. And we didn't have no cobbler shops back in there. Thank you, Carrie. We didn't have no cobbler shops where they could put the tips and stuff on for you. What happened? Jordan wore them for 2 years with that nail. I just did them during slow number because I wasn't going to lose that money. That wasn't going to happen. Then I learned that if I take me a little piece of some little hot glue and put there on that nail and molded it, I can make like a little minor tip and then paint it with black fingernail polish. Nobody'd even know. Yeah, they're not cheap. People don't realize them things are expensive. Now you can get the imitation leather that looks like a leather, and you can get them for less than $100. Back then, no, it wasn't nothing like that. This day and time, these performers got it so easy they can order everything they want from the internet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, honey, this is like, these day and times, it's not even pleather. I don't know what they doing. They done made it even worse than pleather. But yeah, these queens these days got it easy. Like I remember our makeup back in those days. Like y'all remember Max Factor Pan Stick? I know some of the girls, y'all know the Max Factor Pan Stick. That stick that was like this long that you could buy for like $4. Well, we'd have to have like 3 different shades. We'd have to have a white, like a white as we could get it. We'd have to have our skin a little darker than our skin tone because stage lights will pale you out. And then we had to have one for contouring. See, this day and time, they got it where they can go and pick up all that stuff. And then on top of that, like me, I only used one highlighting powder, and it was by Ben Nye. And I don't know if Marjorie remembers it. But Ben Nye, the only place you could get it then was at a little wig shop in New Orleans that was known for theatrical wigs that just happened to have Ben Nye product. So that about once a year, we'd have, like I always playing it around Mardi Gras, I would just go down there, spend the night, get my clown white. I would buy it so it would last me forever. Whew, honey, these girls these days, they got it so easy. They don't know the whole duct taping your, woo-haws and all that. They don't know nothing about that. Hey, Scott Bear. They don't know. They got it easy. I remember when I started, we didn't have all that pads. There was no such thing as doing all that. That came later on in years. But I know for when I did one pageant, I was taught to cut an old couch cushion, which I would go to the dump and find a couch and cut it to make hips and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yo, honey, duct tape was my best friend back in the day. And let me tell you, I would have duct tapes up here and because, I wore me some thongs. Cisco wrote that song about me. You hear me? I was wearing my thong back in the day. Wasn't too many costumes that I didn't have that was not hot glued rhinestones on thongs. See, I'm just saying. But yeah, like I said, I've been reminiscing today and thinking about all of that and how much fun it was and the family that I adopted back then that was just amazing. Just amazing. Like, we knew every Valentine's. Like, Cotton, if you didn't know Cotton was our favorite Lebanese person. If you get what I'm saying, she was part of the LGBTQ plus community. And she always would bring us roses on Valentine's Day. That Showtime. Always. Thank you, Miss Kara. And but I mean, it was just so welcoming feeling. And then on Sundays, sometimes on Sundays we would do like a potluck if we were open. Most of the time we wasn't open. We were just there to clean the bar. And we would do like a potluck. Somebody would bring pizza. The other, it was just a big thing, and it was for the employees. And you don't realize how much you miss something until it's gone. And I have been away from that bar for 20 years since it closed and then it burnt down. And I remember so many beautiful faces out there. So many. And let me tell you, if y'all didn't know Crossroads, let me tell you how Crossroads is set up. You got to a hill, and then it went down like this, and then you went up again, and the bar was right there. And there was 3 different bars to this one bar. Like there was this bar for cruising, the one in the middle was sometimes open. They called it the Cabana Bar there for a long time. I just called it the bar. And then you had the after hours, which that's where all the girls performed. That was her main one. Okay, then off to the right of it, way down there, was nothing but buses. Nothing but buses. And when I say buses, I'm talking about like 30 in a circle. Because they were supposed to do some type of arena that never happened. Okay, so he wasted money on buses, but should have invested in his bar. But that's a whole different topic. Hey, Michelle, love you. And but yeah, we had some great times. I'll never forget the night that they had a semi-famous boxer out there had built a boxing ring. And the owner dared me because I showed up. I had got a hotel room for that night and showed up in full makeup, full glam, full everything. Said, I dare you go up there and hold this car up in between rounds. I'm like, you must not know me. You know I did it. Hey, Dina. Hey, Heather. I'm like, you must not know me. You must not know me. And I did. And I did. And that door in boxer was just like, I'm like, whatever. Hey, Kimmy Kim. Oh my God, we had so much fun out there. Some of the stories. We had like, y'all, no lie, we had a carousel horse, and it was one of those like child-sized carousel horses. It was way up in the air. It's probably 12 feet off the ground up in the air. Ooh, like to knock my thing over. It was like 12 feet up in the air. Thank you, Miss Kara. I love you. People would climb that pole just to sit on that horse. No lie. No lie. Oh my God. I don't need no more zebra print. That yeah, when they was doing all that, I had that's right, I did have that homemade zebra print outfit on it. No, that was when we went to go riding and go I made you that. Yeah, that was the night we had on matching zebra print. That's right. Margie was my I don't know what they used to call them. Glap. Yeah, she was my glap friend. So, but I loved her though, and still love her. I love her mama. But God, there was so many good times out there. You know, I mean, I would tell you the weirdest time, like the oddest feeling in the world, was this. And I remember performing. I was about 4 years, 5 years into performing. And we had just got through during the show. And let me tell you, when I say Crossroads was anything goes, I mean anything goes. Okay? Anything. And I remember getting off the stage off my last number, started getting undressed, packing everything, had me a few little cocktails before I go back out there to tell everybody I love them and thank you, and then leave as usual. Let me tell you, I don't know what was in the drinks that night. I don't know if I was slipped a Mickey or if it really happened. But I'm telling you, Daniel took my stuff out to the car for me, which was awesome. And I'm still back there sipping on my drink because I'm trying to cool off because, you know, dancing, bucking, all that stuff like that, it'll do it for you. And no lie, it wasn't a lot of people there that night. I think it was like 50, maybe 60 people there, which was a slow night. I think the fair was in that night. Y'all, no lie, there was a coming out of the dressing room. There was a door that you open like a bedroom door, and then there was a curtain, like 4 foot from it. So I'm coming out. I open the door to come out the curtain. When I opened the curtain like this, all I saw was everybody doing the nasties. You get what I'm saying? Wasn't no young people there. Like, it was all like 25 and older. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you for the heart. Love you. And let me tell you, I became a football player. You hear me? Jordan sucked it up. I said to myself, we got to get out of here. I ain't getting caught up in this mess. Nope, we gone. Oh, thank you, Ashley. I came, no lie, the curtain here, the door is probably 20 or 30 feet away. Thank you, Kara. I literally got to that door within like 2 seconds because I was like, move, move, move. I was rough that night. I was playing, I'll tell you right now, honey, I came through there like a football player. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Ashley. I love you guys. Y'all, we had, now, like I said, Crossroads was a very free-spirited. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. I love you, girl, for the fluffy heart. We like the fluffy heart. We like the fluffy hearts. Thank you, Christina. I love you. But I tell you what, I came through that thing that night. I had done took off my shoes. Because ain't no stilettos going to stop me from breaking my way through it. Thank you, Christina, for the fluffy hearts, 50 of them. I love you. I love you, Christina. And I came through there, honey, like a freight train. I went from that door till about 50 feet to the car going. It was like 20 or 30. Thank you for the crown. I love you. I love you, Margie. Ain't you the one that's, yep, Margie, thank you for the crown. And I came through that door. I was at that door within like 2 seconds. I was in the car within 3.5 seconds. I was telling Daniel, you ain't in the car yet because I'm ready to go. I ain't staying for this mess. I didn't sign up for this. You know what I'm saying? This was guys. These were all guys. It was all guys. Oh, honey, that wasn't nothing new. Like, okay, well, let me say this. I was a bartender there too. Okay, let me go ahead and say, to clarify, I was a bartender there too. And I remember one night that the other bartender that was supposed to cover me while I did the show directing thing and be in the show couldn't show up because he was sick or something. So I had to do bartending till like 11 o'clock. Then the bar owner was going to come fill in for me and let me go do the show, then come back after the show and do what I needed to do. Let's just say we didn't make it that far. Let's just say there was a man and a woman doing the do in the middle of the room on the pool table, if you get what I'm saying. A straight couple in a gay bar doing it. You know what's like? Doing it. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm at the bar. And the bar owner, I'm like, y'all got to stop these folks. We can't be having that. Oh, just let them go. Just let them go. And I'm like, I don't want to see all that. I don't want to see all. Yeah, y'all be surprised at some of the things I've seen at this bar. I have seen, I was a bartender in a small bar. I think it was on a Tuesday. So this guy and this woman come in. They were a couple at the gay bar once again. And there was probably 5 people in that bar. Not, me, Daniel, and a few other ones, not counting the couple. Next thing I know, the woman is naked on the pool table in the small bar. And the guy is on top of her trying to use his fingers. If you get my drift? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you a little secret. It had some down. Yeah, Miss Dixie, that is the truth. And I'm sitting there going, oh, Lord, not again, not again. I'm like, oh, Lord, not again. Y'all be surprised. Like, y'all would be real surprised. But now this is back, this is back in the day, okay? Now, this wasn't like, now, You know, it was back in the day, it was a very free spiritual bar, and that didn't happen very often, but it did happen. Most of the time, when people wanted to do that, they would go to the buses or to their cars or behind the bar in the woods. They didn't know it was very, but I did see there was a lot of things. I seen a man dancing in a cage that shoved a champagne bottle up at Boo Boo. Margie, you remember that? I think I was with you when that homeless guy came in and he shoved a wasn't a whole champagne bottle, but it was a good bit of it. And I was in the bathroom throwing up because the smell took over. You hear me? Yeah, yeah. You'd be surprised at what you saw. Let me tell you, I've seen more boobs in a gay bar than I've seen in a nightclub for that. No lie. Love you too. Me, sorry. But I do need to be going, you guys. I am past my time, and yeah. That I want to tell you, yeah, it was a trashy bar, but that didn't happen all the time. Okay, that was like every now and then. You always had couples that would come in, be too drunk, and you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I love you, and if I find any more memories, which I got plenty, I will be sharing with you. And thank you, Valerie, for the heart, the rose. I love you, girl. I love you. And thank you all for coming tonight and supporting me and being here for me. You guys are truly my family. And I love you. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Kara. Is it Carrie? Or am I I'm thinking it's Carrie. Thank you so much, you guys. And y'all make sure you get some rest. I will see you tomorrow. Now it wants me to do a puzzle. I'm trying to get off of here. Y'all have a great night. Thank you, Too Hot.